families. My name is Diane. I'm an early childhood educator with the Early On program in Mary Ward School, located in Niagara Falls. Welcome to Ask an ECE. You can find us here every Tuesday afternoon at 2:30 live on Facebook. If you miss us at this time, you can view our videos anytime on our new YouTube channel at Early On Niagara Falls NOTL NCDSB and click on subscribe. Some of our families are wondering about introducing board games to their little ones and how to foster turn-taking skills. So here are some tips to help your children with that. There are many ideas to help foster your little ones develop in turn-taking, but today I'm going to focus on just one idea, and that is board games. This is a fun way to engage your child in turn-taking, and one idea is to make a homemade board game. This way you can cater the game to your child's interest and make it age appropriate, and your child can have input and be involved in adding their own ideas to the board game. So here are some suggestions of what you will need. I used bristle board, but you can use paper or cardboard. You can use buttons, trinket toys, mini erasers. You can add color using markers or crayons. You can add stickers. I have some number stickers and some winter theme ideas and some fairy stickers. You can use Post-it notes. And you will need a die, or dice, or you can make a homemade die. And so that's a few things just to get started, and then think of a theme. What sparks your child's interest? Maybe it's a summer camping trip and you can include some of the photos on your board game. Maybe your child likes playing with cars or dinosaurs. Maybe a princess theme. You can make it a Christmas theme or a winter theme. You can create a few board games with different ideas. Think of a name for your board game. I added a slimy snail trail. You can think of a fun rhyming name. Then you're ready to decorate your game board. Add stickers, rules, challenges. Keep counting concepts simple at first, only moving forward 1 or 2 spaces. This really gives you an opportunity to practice the one-to-one counting with your child as they're moving to each space and have them count out loud. This is where it would be beneficial to have a homemade die, and you can control the numbers on the die using only numbers 1 and 2. Once your child has mastered these skills, you can increase the spaces so your child's moving forward 3 and then 5 spaces and then more, and eventually adding 2 dice. Adding rules such as miss a turn or moving backwards might be better concepts once your child has had some practice with the simple ideas of moving along the board. Decide on game pieces. You can really use what you already have around the home. You can use items found in nature. I have shells or some wood pieces. I have some river rocks or foam pieces. You can use little trinket toys. And I made some critters using pom-poms and googly eyes, and I just hot glued them to a button. And if you don't already have a die or dice, you can create one. I used a printable one off the internet. If you are wanting to use a deck of cards, again, I suggest thinking about the numbers your child already knows or beginning to learn. So for example, 1 to 3 or 3 to 5, you can improvise making a 1 on one of the cards. And start small. Keep it simple. This may help eliminate frustrations and patience with these skills. Think about the length of the game. If too long, children may lose interest. Think about the size of the spaces. Make it easy for their little hands to move the pieces, and visually easy to recognize the individual spaces. Make it fun. When playing with board games, your child is learning turn taking, passing the die back and forth, practicing waiting for their turn. This encourages them to focus and concentrate what is happening. Praise them during the gameplay and say things like, I like how you're taking turns and waiting. And when you pass the die to each other, say things like, thank you, it's fun to take turns. In addition to turn-taking skills and other social emotional skills like sharing, self-regulation, teamwork, winning, losing, board games help your child's development in so many ways, such as literacy. Your child is developing language skills as they communicate and begin to recognize letters or words on the board. They're adding to their vocabulary. They're developing writing skills when they're drawing, writing some of the rules or challenges on the board, reading skills as they learn to recognize what pictures have meaning and learn sight words such as go or stop. With a homemade die, you can add the numbers that your child is working on. Remembering if they are just beginning to use a die and learn their numbers, you can use just the numbers 1 to 3. You can make it adding shapes to the die. And you can add colors to your die to make it a color game. And for older children, you can add the number symbols. You can add the number words. Okay, your child is using hand-eye coordination and fine motor skills as they roll the die and move their game pieces or pick up a card. Children are developing cognitive skills. When they are reasoning and problem solving during the board game, they are figuring out strategies. Children are developing numeracy skills such as math, counting, quantity, and the relationship of numbers as they move forward and backwards. Number recognition, recognizing what is 2 or 3 or 5, what they look like. They're learning to subitize. This is recognizing the number of dots on the die right away without having to count each dot. You can add shapes to your game board, and you can encourage shape recognition. Board games help introduce beginnings for learning coding as well. For preschool children, you can include coding such as yellow space means that you need to move forward 1 space. You can place arrows of different directions to move to get to the next action. You can add actions to the number or the symbol on the die. For example, if your child rolls a 3, they have to jump 3 times. You can place post-it notes over some of the spaces and keep changing the rule or the challenge and keep it a surprise each time. Give a high five. So there's lots of fun ideas that you can use your imagination, and board games can encourage gross motor skills. You can make it with actions. For example, jump up and down 2 times, do 3 jumping jacks, do 1 frog hop, clap hands in a circle, and make it a life-size game. You can continue to introduce coding skills by adding arrows to your child's game as they follow along to get to the next action. A great thing about creating your own board game is that you can make it as simple or extravagant as you like, depending on your child and the age of your child. This is a great activity to do together with your child. It engages their imagination and creativity, along with all the other benefits I've mentioned. And when children are engaged in play, it will extend their learning for longer amounts of time. I will include a link in the comments below with more details to some of the ideas I used here, along with a printable for a homemade die. I hope this helps your little ones, as it did my children, to develop turn-taking skills. We would love to hear any of your ideas and tips that help. Please add to the comments below. Please join us for our story times, Wednesday evenings at 6:30 or Thursday mornings at 10:30. Thank you for joining me today, and bye for now.